What's up, guys? My name is Elias, and The Mandalorian and Grogu is officially in theaters, so it's time to watch, review, and rank every Star Wars movie in the franchise. And continuing our watch list is the epic finale to the OG trilogy, 1983's Return of the Jedi. Acting as the technical sixth episode in the Skywalker saga, the third movie in the OG trilogy landed the plane so well that most consider episodes 4 to 6 to be the peak of the franchise, and you'd be hard pressed to argue against that. Directing duties this time around were handed off to Richard Marquand, who is a relatively novice director whom George Lucas stood by every step of the way to ensure the trilogy closed out exactly as it should. The beginning of Return of the Jedi, formerly titled Revenge of the Jedi, where we meet our heroes again with Leia being in the clutches of Jabba the Hutt, plays like an extended cold open, spending more than a half an hour on Tatooine rescuing Leia in her infamous slave garb and showcasing Luke's new lightsaber skills and force abilities, dripped out in all black, mind you. I wouldn't normally mind such a long sequential opening, especially if it's as fun as Return of the Jedi's, but then for the whole second act of the movie, we spend time on the forest moon of Endor with a bunch of Ewoks, which are these like cub-like troll people, and although it's not without its comedic moments, it's just nowhere near as compelling as the main plot with Luke surrendering himself to the Empire to try and convince his father Darth Vader to help him overthrow the Emperor and dissolve the Empire. I understand that Han, Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Chewbacca were there to destroy the Imperial shield generator, and there is an admittedly cool chase scene on the speeder bikes on Endor. But what I truly love about Return of the Jedi is the conflict revolving around Luke, Vader, and Ian McDiarmid's Palpatine. Whenever Luke and Vader are on screen together, it's almost like their estrangement is part of some Oedipal tragedy where they simply don't know each other as well as they'd like, but yet there's this invisible pull, this force, if you will, that's collided them together to destroy the Sith threat through their clashing ideals, though their clashing ideals inevitably force them into a final bout with each other. The action, the score, the stakes, everything makes this scene so incredibly tense because it's father against son in a battle for Anakin's soul. Star Wars was always about that, though. The emotions, the story, the eternal struggle between good and evil. And when Palpatine is electrocuting Luke while Vader contemplates if he himself deserves redemption, he overcomes his own fears, his own darkness, and tosses Palpatine down the Death Star shaft, triumphantly providing the peace to the galaxy no matter how temporary. There's something beautiful about Anakin's repentance, landing him a spot amongst Obi-Wan and Yoda's Force ghosts as Luke feels he has officially fulfilled his purpose and saved his father's soul. I think it would have been nice to have some kind of closure moment between Leia and Vader, seeing as how Leia is revealed to be Luke's twin sister, effectively retconning some things in the overall canon of the OG trilogy, by the way, due to how it's executed in later movies, but that's just me being spoiled and wanting an even happier ending than what we got. Real quick, before I give you my final thoughts, if you want to know my official rating of the movie, click the link in the description below to check out my letterboxd at Takes with Eli, along with my other socials where I post stuff like this all the time. But let's get back to it. Overall, Return of the Jedi is a solid ending to a near-perfect trilogy that took the world by storm and simply revolutionized cinema. Less time on Endor and Tatooine and more time with Vader, Luke, and the Emperor could have done the movie a favor. But I was also reminded while rewatching this that the OG movies are essentially the gold standard for Star Wars, and the way they mishandled these legacy characters in future movies should be studied. Just saying. But that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, remember to get in my comments with your thoughts on 1983's Return of the Jedi, as well as what Star Wars movie you're excited for me to talk about next. But until then, take care and God bless.